12 times in our Torah, God wrote the importance of keeping the Sabbath. It's an eternal covenant between me and the nation of Israel. For those of us who make Kiddush on Friday night and on Shabbos morning, we say a few words, but not always we pay attention to what we say. We say, "V'shamru bnei Israel et HaShabbat." The nation of Israel observed the Sabbath. La'asot et HaShabbat ledorotam brit olam. To make the Sabbath for generations an eternal covenant. Beini uvel bnei Israel. Between me and the nation of Israel, ot ileolam. It's a sign for eternity. To know that I, God, created the world in 6 days and in the 7th day I rested. The Torah says it 12 times in different places, more than anything else, besides loving the converts. Every other topic is not mentioned so many times. The reward for the Sabbath is tremendous. The punishment is impossible to understand. How can it be so bad? Even worse than someone who committed a murder, which indicates that to the Creator of the world, the covenant of the Sabbath is even more important than anything else, include you should not kill. This is a covenant, not that many mitzvot the word covenant was used for. This is the foundation of Judaism. According to the law, if a Jew does not keep the law of the Sabbath, he cuts himself out of Judaism. Many Jews, of course, don't know it. How important is the Sabbath? Because we grew up in a generation with environment that everyone basically drives and violates Shabbat, and it became a normal thing to do. But that's the truth. You open Shulchan Aruch, the book of law. In 7 different places in the book of laws, the Jewish law, it says it. Mechalel Shabbat, someone who was violating the Sabbath, exclude himself from any holy ceremony of Judaism. Exclude himself from Judaism. And many other horrible things that I don't even want to use. My question to each one of us is, if you're honest with yourself, on a 1% chance there's poison in a cup you didn't drink. But you have to agree with me that there's much more than 1% chance that the Torah is divine. Much more. Everyone agree, even those who criticize the Torah all day and all night. 1% chance for sure you have. Why do you drive on the Sabbath? Why do you light the cigarettes? Why do you turn electric? Why you do all the things that the Torah say you cannot do on the Sabbath? Because you don't even have 1% knowledge or belief in the Torah. Nothing. There's no other way to explain it. Knowing if there's 20 or 30 or 50 or 90%, like most people say, 99% faith, knowing that God forbid you exclude yourself for the life of eternity, the damage is tremendous, and you're still doing it for what? To go to the mall, to buy something, to drive to the game. The same day that God gave us the Torah 3,320 years ago until this moment, and until the end of this creation, the rule will never change, the truth will never change. God is the same God, the Torah is the same Torah, the obligation is the same obligation. We should know that according to the Jewish book of law, the Shulchan Aruch, which conclude the entire written oral Torah process of 3,000 years, it was written 500 years ago, and that's what it says in 7 different chapters and places there in the book of law. It says that a Jew that chose to violate the Sabbath and not keep it, exclude himself completely from Judaism. Since God made a covenant between him and the nation of Israel, the Torah says, you are my children, I chose you from all the nation to be mine. You cannot marry the Gentiles, you cannot behave like them, you cannot use their names. Many you should not. And how did I make you holy? Starting with this covenant of the Shabbat. Shabbat in Hebrew has 3 letters, Shin, Bet and Taf. These 3 letters, if you look at them, it's abbreviation of 3 different mitzvot, 3 different commandments. Shin stands for Shabbat, Bet stands for Brit, circumcision, and Taf stands for Tefillin, Tefillin, put on the heart and the head every day. Those 3 commandments have something in common. From 613 laws that God gave the Jews to keep, The Gentiles have only 7 to keep, and if they keep it, they earn a ticket to the next life. Even though it's very limited as far as the reward, because the test was very easy. The Jews have a much harder job in this life, but the reward is tremendous. It's much higher than the Gentiles. But the most important thing that we have to understand, those 3 commandments have something in common. The Torah used the word ot. Ot means a sign, an agreement. For agreements you need 2 sides. One side is God, the second side is us. And God reaches his arm to us, and what are we doing sometimes? We turn it down. We're not interested. We rather go to the mall on Shabbat or smoke cigarettes or do very foolish things sometimes. If a person would only know how much he's losing by violating these special holy days to God, he will never dare to do it in a million years, not even once. But the problem is that ignorance plays such a role here that Jews never read the Torah probably once in their life in this generation, most of them. They don't know what the Sabbath is. They don't believe that it's so critical. But the truth, as I said, is the same truth. If you are not educated, you're hurting yourself. Come and learn before it's, God forbid, will be too late. So those 3 commandments, the Sabbath, the circumcision, and the tefillin that we tie on our heart and head every day, those are the 3 covenants. And a Jew, in order for him to belong to the Jewish nation, the nation of God, the nation of the book, needs every day to have 2 covenants applied to him. Which means every day during the week we have the circumcision, and plus we put the tefillin on the hand and the head. Those are the 2 signs. On the Sabbath, we don't put the tefillin on, we keep the Sabbath. So we have circumcision and the Sabbath. So together we always make sure we have 2 covenants on us. And if, God forbid, we will turn it down and will not keep our share in the agreement, the price is hard to bear. The Torah says that if the Jews would only know that the reward that they expected to get for every little commandments that they keep, they will run after that every second of their life. And I would like to conclude with one important statement that the Torah says. The Torah says that if you take all the pleasure of all the people, of all the generations of this entire physical world, of all the people combined, it will not be equal to the reward of one individual Jew in the next life. The original language, this is how it sounds. יפה שעה אחת של קורת רוח בעולם הבא מכל חיי העולם הזה. 1 hour of pleasure in the next life to the Jew is equal more than all this entire planet, this entire world combined of all the people together. Money, women, sports, vacation, pleasure, art, whatever you can think of all the people, billions of thousands of years, will not be equal to your reward if you're only going to do the right thing. And if you have doubts about what I say, I'm willing to challenge each one of you. Each one of you, contact me in person, in the lectures. Go into my website and check if it's possible to prove or not. Nobody could write such a book besides the creator of the world.